I think in general that most of us here would like to help the environment. But I also realize that most of us don't really have an easy way to fix the bigger, more long-term issues. So we ignore them. The recently released report on global warming warns that the Earth's temperature has already risen about 1 degree, and that seems very small. But it only needs to rise only more than 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit for almost all coral reefs to disappear, for extreme drought, for increased erratic and dangerous weather, and for a serious increase in poverty and desperate conditions around the globe. For us to reach the goal of cutting off global warming at 2.7 degrees, which is still quite high, we have approximately 11 years to cut emissions by almost 45%. Right now, that would be very near impossible. And if this was some sort of action movie or book, and the protagonists were told, you have 11 years to fix this or else, they would fix it. And that would be their end goal. But in the real world we live in right now, if we continue on our current path, that 2.7 degrees or over will be hit in 22 years. And many countries, including our own, are actually planning to increase their usage of fossil fuels over the next few years. Now, my main point is about politics. So I want you to think back. And when did you last hear global warming used from a politician as a main point? Not ranting or mentioning the environment once or twice. I mean a politician running on the fact that they will make sure that our children and us will live in a world where the Gulf Stream has not reversed, where New York and Miami are not underwater, and extreme weather, flood, mass extinctions, heat, forest fires, drought, and famine are not worldwide constants. A politician running on the fact that if we don't change, that all will start happening in 22 years. I'm guessing you have not seen many. Now, this is improving with the newest wave of politicians, but to start fixing this within a very short amount of time, we would need to significantly change the way our society and technology works. It would involve massive commitment and struggle, and comparatively, we have done next to nothing. The US is almost the second largest producer of CO2 emissions in the world. And we are one of the few countries with the means to do a lot, and yet we have not. And that's not only disheartening, that's really scary. Living in the idea of an almost irretrievably destroyed world is really scary, but what can we do? We are individual people. We can't remake a society, we can't make laws, we can't make our politicians care, except we can, because this government is a democracy. And that means that if every single person makes the decision that the most important thing to them is saving the world from ourselves for ourselves, we can change things. But we haven't, because there are a lot of things that matter deeply to us. And those things are all very important. But at some point, we will hit a point where truly critical issues will fall by the wayside if global warming causes a worldwide economic collapse. Because we are the last generation that's going to have a really good shot at fixing this, a true chance. And it would have to be a crazy, chaotic, dedicated sort of struggle towards this chance, but choosing that struggle would be infinitely better than sticking our heads in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening until the consequences are literally taking down our door. So here's the thing. The only way this would get done is through immense political pressure, amongst other things. And the fact is that most of us can't actually vote yet. But we can make noise and educate voters and join groups that put pressure on politics. But most importantly, we can keep it in mind. We could be the generation that looked around and said, hey, this looks like a really big problem. And then we do something about it. Or we could not. We could do the minimum and keep our primary focus on the same political path as right now. But I have the feeling that in a few years, we'll start really, really regretting it. So it's now or never, or at least now or later, but infinitely harder and accompanied by incredible amounts of worldwide suffering. I would recommend now. So I encourage you all, join a political advocacy group. Write letters, make noise, talk to people who can vote, and most importantly, when you can vote, make your goal saving the world from ourselves. Thank you.